You say you want more, but are you showing up like it? In this episode, we're getting real about fear, visibility, and what's actually keeping you from stepping into the version of you that you're meant to be. Because playing small isn't about lack of potential. It's about hesitation, self-doubt, and staying comfortable. It's time to get your shift together and start showing up fully. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Pretty Aligned Podcast, the space where we shift perspectives, reframe the way we think, and step into alignment with who we're truly meant to be. I'm your host, Octavia Darling, and every week we'll have real conversations that help you reset your mindset, overcome limiting beliefs, and create a life that feels good from the inside out. So grab your coffee, tea, your journal, or just your open mind and get ready to receive. Let's get into it. Reinventing yourself starts with a decision. And in last week's episode, I shared step by step on how I would reinvent myself if I were you. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, make sure you tune in, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. Now let's get honest about where you're shrinking. A few questions I want you to reflect on is, where am I holding back? It could be online, it can be in rooms, it could be in opportunities, your work, or just your overall personal life. Where are you actually holding back? Where are you dimming your voice or downplaying your goals? Something I've noticed, y'all, and I'm going to share this because you might be able to relate. That saying, you are a product of your environment, is real. Okay? It is so real. You have to be so mindful about the people that you associate yourself with, the rooms that you enter, the music that you listen to, the videos that you watch, the posts that you read, all of that, because it is programming your mind. And if it doesn't align with the version of yourself that you want to become or who you are today, then it could really shift your mindset as well as influence poor habits, right? It can influence the way you think. Maybe what you're consuming limits your beliefs. Maybe the people that you hang around, they don't dream big. So they are okay with the bare minimum. So now is the time to identify the exact areas where you're playing small, because you can't fix what you refuse to acknowledge. And then you want to put yourself in positions that requires you to be seen. You're uncomfortable with filming in public. You're uncomfortable with showing up authentically. You're uncomfortable with speaking your mind. You're uncomfortable with applying for that new position. You're uncomfortable with stepping outside of your comfort zone. Post the content. The more you sit on it, the more you think about it, the more you try to perfect it, you are delaying what is meant for you and what is meant for someone else. You have no idea who your videos, your posts, your content overall, just you as a vibe, who is waiting to come across your content just so that they can receive a blessing. Speak up in the room, whatever rooms that you enter. Don't be a yes man. If you are not in alignment with what is being said, speak up. Have confidence enough in what you're saying and in your beliefs. Go where growth is required. Don't be so content with everything going perfectly. No, stretch yourself. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations, in positions that requires you to be seen, that requires you to stretch, that requires you to evolve. Because visibility isn't something you wait for, it's something you choose. And when it comes to confidence, it doesn't come before visibility. It's built while you're being seen. And then you need to start moving. Just move like the person you want to become. Move like the identity that you have shifted into. Show up consistently. We are done with starting and stopping. We are done with coming up with reasons why we can't continue. We are done with being easily persuaded by the outsiders on how we should navigate our life, our business, our content, our creativity. We are done with that. Move like the person that you know that you want to be. Shift that identity. Follow through on what you say. And it all starts with a decision. You have to decide, hey, you know what? This version of me that I am, she doesn't play small. She takes up space in the rooms that she enters. She speaks her mind. Her voice is heard amongst the masses. She creates with no limits. She inspires others. She is authentic in every way, shape, and form. Decide and then act on it. Raise your standards for yourself, because you stop playing small the moment you start taking yourself seriously. If you don't take yourself seriously, why should anyone else? Of course you're playing small. Of course it's easy for you to hide. Of course it's easy for you to come up with reasons why you haven't reached the goal that you've been working towards for years. Of course it's easy for you to come up with excuses as to why you're not living your dream life. Of course it's okay for you to come up with reasons on why you're okay with shrinking yourself. It's because you're not taking yourself seriously. And guess what? Everyone can sense that energy around you. So again, you stop playing small the moment you start taking yourself seriously. Now, here's 2 mindset shifts that I experienced when I was in that position of playing small. The first one is fear doesn't mean stop. No. Fear means expand. It's a sign that you're stepping into something bigger. So whenever something scares you, terrifies you, do it. I dare you to do it. Now, disclaimer, I'm not talking about doing anything that may harm yourself or others. I'm saying do the thing that is going to stretch you, that is going to get you there, that is going to push you forward, that is going to elevate you. Do it. That's where expansion resides. You don't eliminate fear, you move with it. And I'm going to say this, the more you grow, the bigger you become, the larger you evolve, the more fear you will experience. Fear never goes away. It will just keep coming more and more, but that's good. That's a good thing. So lean into it. The second mindset shift is playing small is a choice, and that's the reality of it. You choose to play small. It may feel like it's automatic, but it's still a decision. You're choosing to shrink yourself. You're choosing to play it safe. You're choosing to settle. You're choosing to talk yourself out of the opportunity. It's a choice. Every time you hold back, you're choosing comfort over growth. You're not waiting for the right time. You're choosing to stay safe. Now, we need to get real about this. The life that you want, it requires a version of you that refuses to hide. So are you done playing games? All right, love, let's go over some relatable scenarios during this hot seat coaching segment. Remember, I welcome you to let me know what's going on in your world that needs a reframe. Send your scenario to me and I just might coach you on the podcast. The link to the submission form is listed in the show notes. So I have 3 scenarios for you all today. And I know I may sound like I'm lit, y'all. That's because I am. I really want to help someone. I know that someone listening to this episode right now needed to hear this. Someone needs to know that it's time to stop playing small, and you need to know what steps to take. And that's what I'm here to do. Share with you the steps to take so that you can get out of your head and get in your bag. All right, so the first scenario is the I almost posted it moment. You're the type of person that creates content and then you don't post it. You just sit on it. You overthink how people will perceive you and you choose silence over visibility. Raise your hand if this is you. This used to be me. I used to be afraid to post the content because I didn't like being perceived by others. But the more inner work that I did, the more that I got more in tune with myself, the more I became aligned with my purpose and consulted with God, I knew that this was bigger than me. I knew that my content wasn't just about me, but it was about the people that was going to see it and who was going to be blessed and inspired by it. This is how I want you to think about the moves that you make. What you're doing when you're in alignment with your purpose is bigger than you. You're just the vessel to get it done. The second scenario is the staying quiet in rooms you know that you should be speaking in. You're the type of person who has the ideas, but you don't share them. You second guess your voice all of the time and you leave opportunities on the table. Why are you choosing to not use your voice? Why are you choosing to not share your ideas? Why are you choosing to shrink yourself? You're bigger than that. Your purpose is larger than that. You need to be loud about it. And the third scenario is the downplaying your goals. You're the type of person who say your dreams aren't that serious. And you laugh things off so people don't judge you while you make yourself smaller to fit in. Sounds like you're afraid. It sounds like you're afraid of your potential. It sounds like you're afraid of what's next if you do take that bold step towards your dreams. My love, let's stop playing small. Let's be honest with ourselves and take accountability for our lives, for our actions. Playing small feels safe, but it's also suffocating. You already know what you're capable of. You're just choosing not to act on it. Visibility will feel uncomfortable before it feels natural. And the version of yourself that you are striving to become, they show up even when it's scary. They take up space even when they want to shrink. They take a leap of faith before the net appears. If you're tired of holding yourself back and you're ready to actually follow through, this is exactly why I created my Get Your Shift Together accountability guide to help you stop hesitating and start executing. Grab your copy today. Now, here's a few questions that I want you all to reflect on. This is where you take your notes, journal it out. Also, leave a comment, share this episode, tag me in this episode. Let me know where you're listening to it at right now. Let me know where you're listening to this episode. All right, the first question, where in my life am I currently playing small? What am I afraid will happen if I fully show up? Am I more committed to my comfort or my potential? What would my life look like if I stopped holding back? What's one thing I've been avoiding that could change everything? And if I truly took myself seriously, what would I do differently starting today? Thank you for hanging out with me today on the Pretty Aligned podcast. I hope something in this episode gave you a fresh perspective or a new way to see yourself. Remember, small shifts create big change. If you loved today's conversation, share this with a friend who needs it, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next reset. Until then, keep aligning, keep growing, and keep becoming the best version of you. I'll see you in the next episode.